Hi friends! I'm so glad to have made it onto this video today, friends. Welcome back to everyone that's been here before, and to anyone that's new. My name is Alita. I share prophetic words that the Lord gives me through dreams. Today, before I get into the word, I just want to give you guys a bit of an update, mini update about what's happening, because yesterday, I know I normally put out words on Wednesdays. I know that the Lord had a word, but I just didn't get even a second to get on camera and share the prophetic word. So for the next few weeks, the videos are not going to be consistent. There is a lot going on. Certain things are changing in my personal life, a lot that I'm trying to work through, get done, get out of the way, and it's taking up so much of my time, guys. But this channel is something that the Lord wants me to do. It's something that He's called me to do. It is a blessing to me. I absolutely enjoy coming on here and sharing my dreams and the prophetic words as the Lord gives them. It's just that there's just some transitional things happening in my life at the moment. So I need to just let you guys know in advance that the videos are going to be sporadic. They're not going to be consistent. The teachings on Tuesdays, I want to try and keep that consistent, but I cannot guarantee it, guys. And that's gonna go on up until the end of June. So the next 4 or 5 weeks are gonna be quite intense for me. So it's safe to say that from the beginning of July, everything is gonna go back to normal. So the prophetic words on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, Tuesdays the teachings, and Thursdays me interpreting your dreams. Until then, guys, please bear with me. I'm just letting you know that regular programming will be interrupted. I don't know if this is regular programming, if it's called anyway. So let's get into today's video. So today I'm gonna share with you a word based on a dream that I had on May 23rd. It's actually right in front of me, so I'm gonna have to keep refreshing my screen so it doesn't turn off. May 23rd, 2021 was the dream. Before I get into it, it's so important that you remember that not every prophetic word is meant for everyone. Take it to the Lord if you really believe the word is for you, and if it resonates in your spirit and you sense God is speaking to you, let Him confirm the word. Ask Him for that confirmation. Never make major decisions based on one word. You've got to hear from the Lord directly for yourself as well. And for some of you, this may be confirmation of what the Lord has been sharing with you already, but I still encourage you to pray. I still encourage you to take the word to Him, because He's going to have specific things that He's going to give you, that He's going to share with you pertaining to your own personal life. So it's still important that you stay in communication, and that He's your first, that's the first place that you go, is to the Lord, you know, to get any kind of revelation. So now that we've done the disclaimer, let's get into the dream. In this dream, I remember that I was walking, running. There was fast movement. I was, sorry, food in my teeth. There was, it felt like I had been here before, many years ago. And I had, you know, in this particular place, I wasn't, I didn't do very much. I was there, I could only do so much. There was kind of like, there were limitations. So now I was back in this place, and there was this accelerated movement. I was moving quickly, I was moving forward, I was running, and I was running with some other people. And these other people that I was running with, running with, you know how dreams can be, they always seemed to be behind me. I always seemed to be ahead in the dream as I was moving forward, and we're all moving in the same direction. They were always 2-3 steps behind me, and it felt like a competition in some sense. It felt like I was in their territory, but I was like, you know, moving ahead of everyone. There was a point where we got to this one of the streets, and it had started raining, but it wasn't like a storm or anything. It was a light rain, and there were like puddles and like a bit of flooding. Let me put it that way, not puddles. It was moving water, so there was some flooding. And I remember thinking, oh man, many years ago, this would have been impossible. I would have needed, I wouldn't have been able to cross any of these floods. Like, I just kept thinking about how it was before, and there I was. There was this little little stream of a flood, and I was wearing sandals and a pretty dress. And I looked at one of the people that was also running with me, but behind me, he was dressed very nicely, had on closed shoes. So for him, it looked better for him in terms of him crossing that little stream than it did for me. But I still managed to cross, and I was still ahead, and we still kept moving. And we got to this place which was like a conference room. There were chairs just laid out in rows, and I don't know, it almost seemed like there was about to be some kind of presentation / meeting. And as we were just kind of there gathering, there was this panic all of a sudden, and someone just kept announcing, they're here. And it was so like, okay, this is dangerous. Whatever's happening, there's a danger, there's a threat. And I remember thinking, it took me by surprise. Like, I didn't know what was happening, didn't expect it at all. But I was very calm and very confident. And there were these tables. They were like, I think you call them trestle tables, if I'm not mistaken. You know, when you hear words and you kind of like grab them, you don't know if you process them correctly. I think I think they're called trestle tables. Anyway, so they're the ones with the skinny metal legs, and they're also metal. So there were a couple. I think there were 2 on the one side and 2 on the other side. So these, wherever the threat was coming from, it would enter this way, and it would immediately see anyone that was under these tables. And if you were under these tables, you wouldn't be seen. So I just strategically went and hid under one of these tables. I was alone under that one table, and under the other table there was, I think, a couple of people, but a lot of the other people had gone under the tables opposite, where they would be easily spotted. So there I was alone in my corner, feeling very calm, very confident, not worried. Everyone else was screaming, everyone else was frantic. And then at some point they realized that, oh man, she's actually right, we should be under that table. So they started scrambling their way to where I was, and they were struggling, and it was this panic. And then all of a sudden the threat was no longer there, and then someone started to remove the tables, the ones that had been the opposite ones, right? And yeah, the threat was gone, and we came out from under the tables, and someone came up to me, a younger person. This person is part of my family. They're a family member, but they're younger, and he said to me, he's like, oh my goodness, you look like you need a hug. Are you okay? You don't look like you're okay, blah blah blah. And the first thing that came to my mind in the dream was, actually, I'm perfectly fine. You're the one that needs the hug and who's not okay. Like, I could tell that they were projecting on me, and I pointed that out to them, and the dream ended. I was still feeling quite confident and quite, sorry, don't know what's going on with my eye. Yeah, feeling quite good. And that was the dream. So yeah guys, let's get into this dream, the interpretation. I'm just looking at my notes because they're right in front of me. Just want to make sure that I get everything out. I think there might have been some notes that I didn't even write down, because as I was relaying the dream to you, I was like, hey, I didn't write that down. Anyway, so there are areas of life that you've been before. So it can be some kind of industry, some kind of career, a job. It has to do with career, industry, work. It has to do with that. So these are areas, and I think this is tied to the word that I gave out last week, where I shared to you guys about, you making a name in this new place and taking up your place in industries and careers that you thought were no longer accessible to you because you're feeling that you're too old, or that ship has sailed. This word ties into that. So like I said, there's areas that you've been before. You know about these industries. You've been there before in the past. You didn't make any headway. It felt like you just weren't able to get the right opportunities. But the Lord is reestablishing you in these places. He's going to promote and elevate you in these places, or in this place, because I'm talking to you individually here. So in this particular area of your life, the industry, the job, the career, right? God is going to put you back there, and he's going to elevate you. You are going to make headway in these places, or in this place. And the Lord is saying that you are ready now. You are stronger, and it's your time. When I was moving forward and walking, running in my dream, I felt strong. I felt like this is where I needed to be. Like I was moving forward with a purpose, and people just couldn't catch up to me. And the Lord is showing us that you are going to be placed in this particular job, career, industry, and the Lord is saying you're ready for it. You're strong enough, and you're going to thrive. You are going to move ahead. People won't understand it, but this is what he's doing for you in this time. You are going to outrun or outdo the gurus, the people that have been doing this, that have been dominating that particular career, that industry, the people that were running behind me that just weren't quite catching up with me. They felt like they had been doing this. They had been established in this place. And I was kind of like, almost like taking over. You know, I was outrunning them. So even though it looks like you're ill-equipped, and they seem to have the upper hand, you can weather any storms because you're different. So that was a part in the dream where I was just dressed in this pretty dress. It's raining, there's many little floods, and I'm wearing sandals, and I just seemed out of place. Like it's almost like it was that moment where I could have doubted myself and thought, do I think I'm gonna even get far? But I didn't. I just knew that I was gonna get there. And the Lord is saying that you are different. You are the new thing. I mean, think about it. He's doing a new thing, and he's saying that you are the new thing in this particular area. It is you. You are that new thing. You're not going to look like the people that have been doing it. You're not going to act like them. You're not going to do things like them. There is something about you that is unique, and that's what is needed in this time. Even though the others may look like they'll cross, in the dream it looked like he was going to be able to cross the little streams of floods easier because he had closed shoes and just, more covered clothing. But I still carried on. I still moved ahead. There was still behind me. And the Lord is saying, don't look at the appearance. I should have written that scripture down. I think it's I remember putting it in a previous note here. I want to read that scripture. I hope I have it ready. 1 Samuel 16 verse 7. But the Lord said to Samuel, do not look on his appearance or on the height of his stature, because I have rejected him. Guys, these people that were running behind me, these people that felt like they had been in this place, dominating in this place, they looked amazing. They were well dressed. They had tailored shoes. They were looking good, right? But they have been rejected. For the Lord sees not as man sees. Man looks on the outward appearance, but the Lord looks on the heart. That is what the Lord is doing in this time. He's looking upon your heart, and your heart is in the right place. It's where God needs it to be. Okay, next point. I said you are the new thing. The gurus, I keep calling them gurus because that's the word that came up. They will struggle to accept you or work with you, but they won't have a choice. In the dream, I could feel the animosity. I could feel this, like, they felt threatened. Like, who does she think she is? And you're going to get that. You will come across people that are not just going to step aside because they think that they are, they're in charge, they're in control. They actually don't realize what's happening. They can't see what's happening. It's like it's going to hit them. And when it's done, they'll realize, oh my goodness, this is actually what was happening the entire time. God was bringing in this new person, this new thing, this whole new idea, this whole new everything. And he's doing that through you. So things will be shaken up. That part in the dream where we were gathering and it was about to be like some kind of conference meeting, and then all of a sudden there was like something's about to happen. I forgot what were the words that were said in the dream again. They're coming, or something like that. And all of this panic, and the Lord is saying you may be caught by surprise because in the dream I was, and that's okay. But he knows, and he's so certain that you are confident enough to weather whatever storms may come. You are going to be able to make it through that shaking time. You know, in order for things to change, there must be a shaking. So I wrote here, things will be shaken up, but you will be protected, and you will know how to seek that protection from the Lord. You know, I went under the table in the corner. I was the furthest away from danger, and everyone else just wasn't. Even the people that were on the same side as me were closer to the door. So I was the furthest away from danger. So it's like, you know where your help comes from. That's another scripture in the book of Psalms. Anyway, so your help comes from the Lord, right? The Lord who made heaven and earth. I love that song. Anyway, so the Lord is saying, He's equipping you to be confident and to stay calm in that time of change. Change is going to come, and things are going to be reshuffled and moved around. The tables were taken out. Things were just being shuffled around, and the Lord is saying things are going to change. They're going to be reshuffled and moved around. Change is going to come. And that change may seem like a threat. That's why there was that panic, like, they're coming. Meanwhile, it wasn't really a bad thing. It was change that was coming. And obviously the people that are in that industry, that career, they see that as a threat, because this has been their thing for so long. And now the Lord is saying, you're stepping in. He's elevating you. He's promoting you. And that threat is going to be used to make things turn out for your good as you walk in faith and stay calm and confident in the Lord. Okay. I don't know if I should read the scripture now. I should, because it goes with what I just said. Romans 8:28-30 says, and we know that God causes everything to work together for the good of those who love God and are called according to His purpose for them. For God knew His people in advance. You were known in advance. Wow. And He chose them to become like His Son. I love that. So that His Son would be the firstborn among many brothers and sisters. That unity thing again, that family thing again, that oneness. Brothers and sisters of Christ. God created male and female, sons and daughters, brothers and sisters. And that was my previous word, the one I put out on Monday. And having chosen them, He called them to come to Him. And having called them, He gave them right standing with Himself. And having given them right standing, He gave them His glory. This is what the Lord is doing in your life in this time. At the end of the dream, there was that my sweet family member who was like, oh, you look like you need a hug, you know. And I was fine. I was feeling strong. I was feeling confident. And I had to bounce that back onto them and say, listen, you're actually the one that needs a hug. And the Lord is saying that some who are still growing, who are not mature, they may try to project their fears and insecurities and anxieties onto you, because people don't like to be vulnerable and share that, you know, they're afraid or whatever. And you are almost going to be in that leadership role where you have to help and guide. And what's the word that I used? I used a specific word. Call them out. Call them out in a good, loving way, so that they can also grow. They can also confront their own fears and confront what's happening for themselves and recognize what's happening in themselves and do something about it, as opposed to deflecting it and putting it on everyone else around them. So that's the dream, that's the interpretation, that's the prophetic word, friends, for this week. I really pray that it's blessed you guys. It certainly blessed me, definitely, as always. And thank you so much to everyone that donates to the ministry, whether it's through prayers, through just encouraging words. Guys, words are so powerful, and I just receive each and every single positive blessing that you guys speak over me. And also, you know, financial donations. Thank you so much for that as well, guys. It helps me to keep this ministry going. There's so much that the Lord wants me to do with this ministry. I laugh because I'm like, wow, Lord, I don't even know how I'm going to do it all, but I know that I will, and I'm excited to do it all. I just need to get through this period in my life, and I'm going to be back at the top of my game soon. Pray for me, y'all. Anyway, I will see you guys in the next video. Remember, God is such a good Father. He loves you so much because you are so special to Him. I'm in a race right to the start. They try to left me